I got back literally 2 days you after we had our meeting. And that week I launched a new product on, I think it was that Friday. It was the 20th of February. And like the first day, I seen it was doing all right. Like it was getting more traction than I normally would in like the time frame of most of my products. And then like on Sunday, I hit like back to back 1K days, and it was like, what the fuck? I've never like that's the most like money I made like in a day with, you know what I'm saying, what I've been doing. I've made the most like I ever made in my, not like all together, but like the most in a month time frame. It's just crazy.
Through our text messages, you said like the biggest thing for you was like the fear thing.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about that? Like, what changes did you put in, and like how um, what I talked about helped you?
What you're about to watch is a call between me and one of my clients' prospects. And in this specific call, I help him overcome the biggest things that holds back growth operators, but also the majority of people in the make money online space, which is the fear of failure. I put this out there as a testament to what I stand for. I'm not one of these people that's pretending that they're millions of miles ahead of you. I'm literally just 1 to 2 steps ahead. And I'm trying to share like the bullshit that I've been through and I'm going through right now. Like, I'm still in the fucking trenches. I'm in my office space. It's fucking Saturday. I'm fucking alone. Nobody's here. But yeah, there's a lot of bullshit that is going to come your way along your journey. Fear of failure is one of them. I literally solved it for this guy. And I hope I am able to provide the same value to you that I was able to provide to him. Like always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this. And yeah, how do I turn this off?
What do you think about like the mindset stuff really attracts you to it?
The identity. That's the biggest part. That's like even to this day, I still have like troubles with it. But like the way he explains the like self confidence, identity, fear. He talks about that in a couple of his videos, like just not caring what people think, stuff like that. That's the part that I've really been intrigued, learning and implementing in my life recently.
Do you feel like you struggle with your identity or like your mindset?
I wouldn't say I struggle, but like, every so often it's the old identity clashing with the new identity. It's like, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's just, I don't know how to like balance. I wouldn't say balance, but it's just the old clashing with the new identity, and like fear. I would say sometimes fear of being judged and like fear of failing leads to me like procrastinating and not actually doing what I need to do and stuff like that.
By the way, I started a completely free Discord community full of high ticket coaches, consultants, mentors, everybody in the high ticket space. There are some high level guys in here. You can see this guy hit 80K a month previously and is rebuilding his info product. Like I said, it's completely free. It's just a safe space for everybody to go in there, share information, and just get better. So if you're interested in joining, it's the first link in the description.
I am curious, why do you even want to like improve your mindset? Is it just for like personal gain? Is it like for better business results? Like what's kind of like your goal?
I would say it's a little bit of both. I want to be, because I noticed that the whenever I set goals, the work that I actually have to put in to accomplish those goals are not even hard at all. It's just my mind that just makes like adds more steps. It gives me more obstacles. It has doubt, fear, all that. And I just want to really like lock in on my mind and just make it to a point that my mind cannot control my decisions. Like the negative part of my mind can't control my decisions. So I just want to get a strong mindset that really could just actually help me like know that I could truly accomplish anything I want. Because I've accomplished most of last year, most of my goals, I accomplished them, but it was only towards the end of the year. Like I set goals at the beginning of the year and I didn't get them until I actually locked in like a little bit of Q3 and a little bit of Q4. And I was just thinking like, if I would have just done the work without just thinking, without just making up any scenarios, just done the work and then, think after, I would have got these goals way, way, way quicker.
Okay. What else do you kind of try or do you do to like overcome those limitations?
Um, I do visualize. I used to last year. I was like heavy into like visualizations and manifesting the like my end result of where I wanted to be. But now I'm kind of like stepping back on that and just like not really focusing my days on the goals, but I'm setting systems that I have to do every single day that will eventually like obviously leads to the goal. So now I'm kind of more focused on the inputs. I'm not really just fantasizing about the dream and just, visualizing. I'm just like being more productive. I got a checklist every day I write the night before I wake up. I do the hardest thing first and I just go over my day, just checking it off, checking it off. And I know if I keep doing that for a prolonged period of time, eventually the goal is going to catch up because I've put in, all those inputs are compounding over time. So right now, I'm just input focused, just getting work done, you know?
Okay. Wh- What would you say was like, because not everybody comes to the conclusion that like their biggest problem is their mindset.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people just put that blame onto other things.
Mhm.
What would you say was like the thing that made you realize like your biggest problem was your mindset?
The thing that made me realize my biggest problems on mindset was, I wouldn't say it's just one thing, but it's always after I do the thing that I have to do. Like, it's always after I get the goal or after I do something I'm afraid of, I realize, oh, that wasn't too bad. Why was I overthinking that? Like nothing happened. I'm still alive. Like nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. So it's just always after the fact that I do what I do, I think back and realize, yo, I was really thinking about all this just for nothing to happen and me get so
Yeah.
it's just
It's almost
me
like
looking.
it's almost like your brain like projects fear and like all
Yeah,
these
that's
other
the biggest
fears into
thing.
the future.
Yeah.
Hmm. Why do you think your brain does that?
Uh, I think I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's like that for everyone, to be honest, but some people are just better at dealing with it than others. I feel like because I'm still kind of a beginner into the entrepreneur space and everything. So I feel like what I'm going through right now is something that everybody that is at the level that I want to, they all went through the same thing. But I really don't know why the brain does that. It's just the brain loves being comfortable. It doesn't really like getting out of the comfort zone. So I'll really just say because comfortability is just it's nice to be comfortable. The brain is scared to go out your comfort zone and move to a different city. Talk to a new girl or something like that. So I would just say the brain likes being comfortable. That's why it projects fear when you're actually wanting to do something new or that's uncomfortable to your daily routine.
Okay. So I have a better understanding of like what made you realize like mindset is kind of like one of the biggest things that you need to work on.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, was there a situation with that confirmed that because there's a difference between thinking something's the main problem and then like confirming that it is. If I explain myself well here, is there an
Yeah.
event that like confirmed like, oh yeah, it's my mindset 100% that I need to work on?
Um. Yeah. There's a few events. Most recently, because I do YouTube also. Like I don't say I do YouTube, but I have a YouTube channel that I post videos. So I just moved out in December, and I had a few friends come over. And at the time, I took a long break from YouTube. Like my primary reason for taking a break was to actually lock in on my business so I can, actually get my goal last year, which was moving out, and I got it. So I had a couple friends come over. They was like, bro, like you gotta get on YouTube, like, cause I had a TikTok where I posted my clips and it was actually like doing pretty good. They was like, bro, your videos are good. Like, I don't know why you stopped posting, but they didn't know that I was like thinking. My mind was like every day I would look at my YouTube. I'm like, is this really what I want to do? Like the videos I want to do, like I would just when I want to record, I would just make so many scenarios in my head that would stop me from recording. Like it would be sometimes where I would literally go out, record, and not even post the video just because I didn't think it was good enough. And that same day, they was telling me at the house, I literally had a video that I recorded that was like 2 weeks old that I wasn't even gonna post. I was gonna delete it. I just ended up posting it the next day, and like after that, I was like, bro, that wasn't bad. Like I actually enjoyed watching the video, enjoyed editing the video. I was like, bro, I could have really posted this 2 weeks ago, and I could have just kept the momentum going. But just fear, and just I don't know.
Let's play this out a little bit. What do you think is going to happen if like your mindset isn't like fully changed? Because like that sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie to you. Holy, like
it
it's almost
just
like your brain is fighting against against you.
yeah, it's a constant fight every day.
What's gonna happen? Like if that's
If my
like
mindset doesn't change,
yeah, I'm not saying that if it doesn't change, but if it doesn't, because you're already changing it, right? You're already taking steps to get better. But like, what's going to happen if it doesn't get like fully dialed in? Because as an entrepreneur, it's almost a question of like, how long do you plan on continuing to fight against your own brain?
yeah. So I really feel like if my mindset isn't like, if it doesn't get to that point where it's like affecting me and what I do, I feel like everything in my life would just be stagnant and my goals would just either take way longer than it should, or I would probably just come to the point where I just take defeat on my mind and I'm just going to think it's not actually possible and give up, which I don't even want to think about that. That's not going to happen. But if it comes to that point, it's either going to be the point where a goal that would have took me 3 months end up happening in 2027, or I just give up and just become I don't even know. There's no way.
Why do you not want that to happen?
It's not even why like I don't want it to happen, but like I genuinely cannot see it happening. Like I be thinking in my mind like just of like a regular life, and I genuinely cannot like visualize and like picture a life that what I'm not already living. It's like extremely hard for me to do that because I've low-key come a long way from where I was at in 2023 till now, and like I can say I'm definitely like changed a lot. So I can't even picture myself in I don't even know like what I would do if I wasn't like doing what I'm doing right now. I generally do not know. So
May I ask what your business is?
business, so I have a regular job in healthcare that makes a little bit of money. I also do marketing. I edit videos for people, and that's like my three main sources of income. I want to really the one I want to scale up to the point where I can eventually quit my job is marketing. So that's like my main business that I'm focusing on right now.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what are like the mental levers that you, or is it different mentalities that you want to adopt in order to help you reach your goals?
Um, one, I want to get to a point where like I'm not afraid to do anything. Like, because the videos I used to do was like public videos, going up to people and stuff like that. Like, it would be some points where I would be scared, to go to people to talk on camera, and I wouldn't know how to talk on camera. So I want to get to the point where I'm just like operating with no fear, 100% conviction in myself. I feel like I'm getting there to the point, but sometimes, like, because it doesn't just happen overnight. I look at, my current situation. I'm like thinking, like, bro, does this really work? But like, I want to get to the point where I know that it works. I know that now, but it's just gonna take a prolonged period of time with the right amount of inputs. So I just want to have
Real quick,
100%. What was that?
I was gonna say real quick, let's put a pause there because I think I have a very important question.
Yeah.
Who told you that fear was a bad thing?
That's, a good question. That's a good question. I never thought about it like that. I always thought about me being afraid is like hindering me from doing something good, I guess. Like, for example, me being afraid to post a video will, you know, slow my momentum on YouTube or something like that. But I see what you're saying because fear sometimes could be a good thing. Like, if you're going out to a bar, like you're scared if it's a sketchy area and like you're afraid, that's technically a good fear because anything can happen at the bar. It can be a shootout, a fight, or something like that. But I actually never thought about it like that. It's crazy.
Can I expand on that on this new perspective?
Yeah.
So I really like boxing, right? Mike Tyson is one of my favorite boxers, right?
Yeah.
There's this quote. We can actually look it up after this call. It gives me shivers, right? It's just like it's like a poem, right? You know how Mike Tyson talks. There's this,
Yeah.
but it's like it's him talking about his mentality
Hmm.
as he's approaching a fight, and it's like in the locker room, I'm deathly terrified. I'm afraid that I've wasted the last year of my life. I'm afraid that I'm not worthy. I'm afraid that my family would be embarrassed of me. As I walk up to the ring, I'm afraid that my opponent is so much stronger than me. I'm afraid that I'm about to embarrass myself. I'm afraid that my opponent will end my career. I'm afraid that by the time I get to the ring, right, I have not put in enough work to be deserving of this victory.
Yeah.
And then he takes a pause. But as soon as I step in the ring, I'm a god. You see, when I hear that, it puts it into my perspective that fear is not the enemy. Right? It's not something that we want to get rid of. It's just we have to understand that it's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
Because fear is a very it's an emotion, right? To ask for a life without fear is to ask to reduce your humanity to an extent.
Yeah.
So I think, and this is just me, and I don't know how you feel about this. It's like, I think a better perspective is like, okay, how do we operate understanding that fear is part of the journey? How do we
Hmm.
use that fear to motivate us?
Yeah.
Because how Mike Tyson described it is like that fear pushed him to work his fucking ass off to the point of insanity. And we all know Iron Mike.
Yeah.
He was so afraid of losing that if you thought you were about to win, he'll bite your ear off. You know? I don't know if we want to take it that far. But I don't know. That's just my perspective on it. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
That's like I've never thought about it in the way that you just mentioned. Because like I was saying, like I was just thinking about just eliminating fears, being that one person who can just walk up the street and just do anything they want, just without feeling that emotion. But like you said, like it's an emotion, and if you take away that emotion, like you're gonna be AI. You can't escape emotions, no matter how hard you try. You just have to handle them in the best way possible.
Yeah, that's just my perspective on it.
Yeah.
It's sorry to get a little bit derailed, but sometimes I recognize those things within people.
Now that I've removed your fear of failure, it's time to get out there and do some fucking outreach. But we both know how ass outreach is. Lucky for you, I created a bot that just do it for you. It's easy as shit. And if you want a full tutorial on how to set up that bot using Claude Code and a couple of other agentic tools, click this video right here.